In what many are calling a defining moment of accountability for the Sussex brand, the CEO of the Nexus 2025 summit, Rachel Klein, pointedly refused to refer to Prince Harry by his former royal title, the Duke of Sussex, during his much-anticipated speech. The omission was no accident. Delivered in a sharp, corporate tone that drew murmurs across the elite gathering, Klein introduced Harry simply as Mr. Harry Windsor, co-founder of Archewell Foundation. The calculated snub not only stripped away his royal veneer but also struck directly at the image Harry and Meghan Markle have relentlessly tried to market, that of transatlantic royalty on a global humanitarian mission. And Meghan? She wasn't even in the room, allegedly backstage, seething. For years now, Meghan Markle has been accused of orchestrating a relentless campaign to commodify the Sussex name. From multi-million-dollar podcast deals to questionable product launches cloaked in activism, the duo has blurred the line between purpose and profit. So when CEO Rachel chose not to recognize Harry's royal styling at one of the year's most high-profile global leadership events, it wasn't just a professional oversight, it was a carefully calibrated message. The world is no longer buying the illusion. What made the moment even more stark was the context. The Nexus Summit, often attended by tech magnates, UN delegates, and policy shapers, maintains an unspoken code of authenticity. This isn't the kind of stage that tolerates grandstanding or performative activism. Rachel Klein's introductory speech was tight, factual, and unflinching. No sycophantic nods to royalty, no gushing preamble. Instead, her tone underlined what many insiders have whispered for months: titles mean little in rooms where credibility must be earned, not inherited or Instagrammed. This wasn't the first time Meghan and Harry faced institutional resistance, but it may have been the most public. And the fallout was immediate. Sources close to the event claim that Meghan, who had originally planned to join Harry on stage for a closing segment, abruptly pulled out just 10 minutes before airtime. Attendees noted the absence, and whispers rippled through the crowd. Was she embarrassed? Was this a silent protest? Either way, her absence spoke volumes. Critics of the Sussexes have long argued that Meghan has propped up Harry's royal connection, while simultaneously railing against the very institution it stems from. Their Netflix documentary, their tell-all interviews, and their Archewell branding all lean heavily into a paradox, denouncing the monarchy while trading on its mystique. The Nexus snub, therefore, felt like a reckoning, a mirror held up to a couple who may have finally overplayed their hand. Interestingly, several dignitaries and fellow speakers at the event followed Rachel's lead. A senior delegate from the EU referred to Harry simply as Mr. Windsor. An influential NGO founder remarked offstage that the summit is about action, not aristocracy. It appears the message had been received. Royalty without relevance no longer commands automatic respect. Perhaps what stung most was the sheer indifference. The snub wasn't laced with malice. It was laced with indifference, arguably worse. In the harsh world of global leadership and corporate diplomacy, being ignored is far more damning than being criticized. Meghan, who has built an entire media strategy around controlling narratives, found herself locked out of this one. This quiet but firm dismissal of the Sussex mythos is resonating beyond the summit. Social media platforms saw a spike in the hashtag #JustHarry following the event. Media outlets across Europe and North America began publishing pieces not just on the omission but what it signifies, a cultural shift away from glamorized entitlement. And what now for Meghan? If Nexus 2025 taught us anything, it's that access and influence are no longer guaranteed by royal pasts or carefully curated victimhood. The world's top leaders want real impact, not tabloid drama. And when that drama shows up disguised as purpose, professionals like Rachel Klein are willing to call the bluff, even if it means offending a royal by marriage who once thought the world was her stage. In short, the Nexus stage exposed the fragile scaffolding behind the Sussex image. It was a moment that peeled away the PR polish and revealed the truth. In rooms where real work is being done, symbolism without substance doesn't just fail, it gets refused the microphone. And as the applause died down after Harry's awkwardly brief speech devoid of any royal flair or grand emotional anecdotes, the underlying message from the room became painfully clear: credibility is now earned through results, not legacy. Harry's presence, once enough to electrify a room, now seemed oddly hollow without the cushion of royal protocol or Meghan's curated narrative to frame it. His attempts to pivot toward global equity and youth empowerment were met with polite claps, but little more. There were no standing ovations, no post-panel media frenzies, just the quiet return to business as usual. Behind-the-scenes, event organizers confirmed that the decision to drop the title Duke of Sussex was deliberate following internal discussions that the summit prioritizes achievements over aristocratic identity. Even more damning, several sponsors reportedly pushed for this neutral introduction, wary of alienating a professional audience tired of performative speeches and celebrity activism. For Meghan, the optics are disastrous. Her silence post-event is telling. No Instagram posts, no Archewell newsletter spin, no sudden charity drop to shift the narrative. Because at Nexus 2025, the narrative shifted without her. The Sussex fairy tale was politely, professionally, and publicly declined. And for a couple so dependent on brand control, that might be the harshest headline of all.